Income is tracked from within each month's income tracking worksheet. Here you'll see a section for interest, dividends, and other income. Any revenue tracked here, say from your bank, you could put a date if you want, you don't have to. I'll enter 1, 2 again, and let's say it's $25, and this pattern is going to be repeated. Any revenue tracked in interest, dividends, or other income is going to automatically fill into the appropriate month of the budget worksheet, as you see here. On the budget worksheet, these fields are protected, as demonstrated here. And I'm going to go back to the income tracking worksheet for January and show you that these headings for these sections are protected, though as you just saw, you can edit into each one of these line items, if you will. I'm going to page down past other income and show you name number 1. And income tracked here really is off of your paychecks. And what you're going to track is your gross amount and then your deductions that were set up as we previously saw in the income worksheet. I want to refer to the income worksheet to point out why name number 1 and name number 2 are the way they are. And to point out that these can be edited. You can double click on here, double click up here, selecting this A4 or A, in this case A23, and you can change whatever name you want. Let's go ahead and do the first one, change it to Bob. And the second one, let's change to Carol. And then demonstrate that in each income tracking worksheet, there's Bob. And then let me further explain that there's going to be 3 areas where you're going to find the name Bob. And then there are going to be 3 areas where you find the name Carol. And that is to accommodate those periods during the year where you may get paid 3 times in a month, which occurs 2 times in a year. Now I'm going to scroll back up to where the first Bob occurs and just show you that if we were to track a paycheck, let's say I would just put the date here like January 3rd, and let's say the gross amount is $1,250. And if we go in and then you would refer to your paycheck and like say federal income tax was $125, state income tax is $25, Medicare is $20, and so on. Jump down to union dues and let's just enter such as $21. And you'll notice that the gross amount after being entered here has the deductions subtracted from it and the net amount calculated for you and placed in this column. And if you track each of your paychecks, you're going to repeat the same pattern in each of the sections in this example where it says Bob. And let me show you where these, first off, the gross amount shows up, and that is back at the income worksheet. Here's our gross amount and all the deductions we did, and if you add up, it'll show your net pay totals. But let me also point out, these deductions also appear in the budget worksheet in the category that has been set up for payroll deductions. And here's the payroll deduction number 1 and number 2. Again, in this example, number 1 would be for Bob, number 2 would be for Carol. And you'll see there's no gross amount here because we're only tracking deductions. And you'll see the amount for all the deductions we just keyed in and the total there. And one more time, referring back to the income worksheet, or I'm sorry, rather the budget worksheet, going back to the top, you can see where the total gross amount is tracked here, our total interest, dividends, and other income, and that is used to be calculated at the very bottom of the budget worksheet where we have our total expenses and our income calculated to come up with short or extra.